All right, welcome to the Grok 4 release here. This is the smartest AI in the world, and we're going to show you exactly how and why. It really is remarkable to see the advancement of artificial intelligence, how quickly it is evolving.
If you're feeling like the pace of AI development is, well, exhilarating and maybe sometimes just a little unnerving, you are definitely not alone.
Right. It really feels like every other day there's some new breakthrough, a new claim.
Like a new leap forward, yeah.
Yeah.
And our deep dive today into Grok 4 is no exception to that feeling.
Indeed. We're diving into the latest from Elon Musk's XAI, focusing on their recently launched flagship AI model, Grok 4.
A really significant moment, it seems.
Yeah, it could definitely shake up the competitive landscape.
And our mission for you, as always, is to, unearth the most important nuggets, the key insights about Grok 4's capabilities.
What it can do.
Exactly. And it's maybe surprising real-world implications what actually sets it apart.
We're aiming to give you that comprehensive shortcut.
Get you well informed about this major development. We're pulling from a recent TechCrunch piece and some pretty compelling bits from XAI's Grok 4 launch livestream.
Right, so let's unpack this. Grok 4 has certainly made a grand entrance. It's XAI's newest offering, and it's designed to go head-to-head with the big players like OpenAI's ChatGPT and Google's Gemini.
And they've even got this ultra-premium tier, right? Super Grok heavy.
That's right, which, it's worth noting, comes with a pretty hefty price tag. We're talking $300 per month.
Wow, $300. That definitely positions it at the very top end. And its core functions, what can it actually do?
Well, the baseline stuff you'd expect now, analyzing images, responding to complex questions.
Okay.
But what's maybe more interesting is its deeper integration into Musk's social network.
Right, which is under the same X Corp umbrella as XAI itself. That makes sense.
Yeah, and that integration is kind of crucial context, especially considering the timing of the launch.
How so?
Well, just days before the Grok 4 unveiling, Lindy Yaccarino stepped down as CEO of X.
Oh, right. I remember that.
And it also came after that public misbehavior incident, the one involving Grok's official automated X account.
Ah, yes, I saw reports about that. It was responding with some pretty offensive stuff, right? Anti-Semitic comments.
Exactly, for a brief period. So XAI had to address that, especially right before this big launch.
So how did they handle it?
They moved fast, limited the account, deleted the offensive posts, and it looks like, in response, they removed a section from Grok's public system prompt.
Which part?
The part that apparently instructed it not to shy away from making politically incorrect claims.
Interesting. So a direct tweak based on that incident.
Seems like it. But what's really noteworthy is that despite all that turbulence, the CEO change, the account incident, the launch event itself, really zeroed in on Grok 4's performance and capabilities.
Right, trying to steer the narrative back to the tech itself.
Exactly, back to its intelligence.
And speaking of intelligence, the claims they're making are, well, they're bold. Elon Musk made a pretty huge assertion during the live stream. He said, and I'm quoting here, "With respect to academic questions, Grok 4 is better than PhD level in every subject, no exceptions."
Yeah, that's a massive claim. Better than PhD level.
In every subject. How are they even defining that for an AI?
Well, he elaborated a bit. Claimed Grok 4 could get perfect SATs every time.
Perfect SATs.
Wow, and near-perfect results on graduate exams like the GRE across basically every discipline. Humanities, languages, math, physics, engineering.
Even on questions it's never seen.
That's the claim. Now, it's important. He did concede it currently lacks, common sense.
Okay.
And it hasn't actually invented new tech or discovered new physics yet.
Right. Okay.
But he believes that is just a matter of time. He's expecting new tech maybe later this year or next, and new physics maybe next year or within 2 years.
So like a super genius student who's brilliant on exams but hasn't applied it fully to the real world yet, that's still an incredibly intense timeline for expecting those kinds of breakthroughs.
It really is.
So what's the engine driving this? What's behind this supposed leap in smarts?
Right. That brings us to the training and the compute power. They've massively increased the training for Grok 4, described it as an order of magnitude increase.
An order of magnitude. So like 100 times more training than Grok 2.
That's the implication, yeah. 100 times. And they also made a distinction between types of training. There was pre-training, getting from Grok 2 to Grok 3.
Okay.
And then crucially, reasoning in reinforcement learning, or RL, which took it from Grok 3 to Grok 4.
Ah, reinforcement learning. That's the trial and error learning, right? Getting rewards for good decisions.
Exactly. And here's the kicker. Grok 4 apparently used 10x more compute than any of the models out there on reinforcement learning.
10 times more RL compute than any other model out there. That's huge. What kind of hardware does that even take?
Well, to handle that, they built Colossus, their name for what they call the world's supercomputer. It packs 100,000 H100s.
NVIDIA's H100s, the top-tier AI chips. 100,000 of them, just.
Yeah, it's staggering scale. And the goal of all this RL compute, using something they call verifiable outcome reward, is to train the model to think from first principles.
Verifiable outcome reward. Okay, so what does that mean in practice?
It seems like it's about training it not just to get the right answer, but to understand why it's the right answer, from the ground up, to reason through its own mistakes and self-correct.
So getting it to actually think more like a human problem solver, not just matching patterns it's seen before, that feels like a critical difference.
Exactly. They're aiming for deeper reasoning. And the proof, they argue, is in the performance.
Right, the benchmarks. Let's get into those. They talked a lot about the academic side first.
Yeah, they highlighted something called Humanities Left Exam, or HLE.
HLE. Okay.
Described as a very challenging benchmark. It's got 2,500 crowdsourced problems put together by subject experts.
And the subjects are really diverse, right? I remember examples like category theory, organic chemistry reactions, even Hebrew text analysis.
Exactly. Really complex stuff across the board. And Grok 4's scores were, well, pretty notable. It got 25.4% on HLE without using tools.
Okay, 25.4%. How does that compare?
Better than Google's Gemini 2.5 Pro, which was at 21.6%, and OpenAI's O3 at 21%.
So a clear lead there. But
Right.
then there's the heavy version.
Right. Grok 4 Heavy, with tools things like web search or calculators, hit 44.4% on HLE.
44%. That's a big jump.
Huge jump, and significantly better than Gemini 2.5 Pro, with tools which scored 26.9%.
And just to give people context, they mentioned most previous models were stuck in single digits on this HLE benchmark, right?
Yeah, and they even threw out the idea that no humans can actually answer these consistently. Maybe 5% accuracy for a human, optimistically.
So it really highlights how incredibly difficult these problems are supposed to be.
Definitely. And it wasn't just academic tech stuff. They also talked about visual reasoning.
Right, the IRC AGI2 test.
Yep. Grok achieved a new state-of-the-art score there, too, 16.2%.
And IRC AGI2 involves those abstract, puzzle-like visual patterns.
Exactly. It's known for being really tough. And that 16.2% score, it's nearly double the next best commercial model, which was Claude Opus 4.
So strong performance in both text-based academic reasoning and abstract visual reasoning. That's quite comprehensive.
It is. And then there's how Grok 4 Heavy achieves some of this, particularly on the really hard problems.
Yeah.
They talked about this multi-agent approach.
Yeah, that sounded fascinating, like it spawns multiple versions of itself to tackle a problem.
Kind of. Multiple independent agents working in parallel on the same problem. They used a study group analogy.
A study group, okay.
The agents compare their work. Maybe only one figures out the trick or the key insight, and then that solution gets shared with the others, leading to a better, refined final answer.
That's a really interesting mechanism. And they said this helps Grok 4 Heavy solve, what was it, over half the text problems in HLE.
Oh, more than 50% of the text-only subset, yeah. And they didn't just talk about it, they showed demos.
Right, the live demos. What stood out there?
Well, they showed Grok 4 solving a complex HLE math problem, step by step, showing its thinking trace.
Okay, so showing its work, basically.
Exactly. And then Grok 4 Heavy predicting World Series odds on Polymarket.
The prediction market site.
Yeah, showing how it browsed odds sites, did its own calculations to find its alpha and edge, its predictive advantage.
That's a very real-world application of reasoning and tool use.
Definitely. And the X integrations were interesting too, like finding the XAI employee with the weirdest profile photo.
Which requires some subjective understanding, right? Not just data retrieval.
Exactly. Nuance. Or creating a timeline of X posts, tracking scores in a competition, pulling real-time data.
And the visualization demo, the black holes colliding.
Yeah, that was visually impressive. They highlighted how it used web search, undergraduate physics texts, reasoned about constants.
But also acknowledged the simplifications it made.
Right, which is important. And they mentioned wanting to eventually give it access to the same physics-accurate simulation models that scientists use.
That would be another big step. And finally, the voice mode improvements.
Yeah, significant upgrades there. They said they cut the latency in half.
Faster responses, always good.
And introduced new voices. There was S with a deep tone and Eve, A British voice, they said, had rich emotion.
And wasn't there a demo where Eve sang spontaneously?
There was. Sang an opera about Diet Coke, apparently. Just showing off the fluidity and, well, personality they're aiming for beyond just robotic speech.
An opera about Diet Coke. Okay, so let's shift gears. We've seen the claims, the benchmarks, the demos. What does this all mean for the real world? Practical applications, impact.
Right. So in the business realm, they highlighted a simulation by Endon Labs called Vending Bench.
Vending bench, like running virtual vending machines.
Exactly. A simple business scenario, manage inventory, contact suppliers, set prices, and Grok 4 ranked #1 in this simulation.
What did ranking #1 mean?
It apparently doubled the net worth generated within the simulation and also doubled how long the simulation could run successfully. Showed consistency.
Okay, so good at running a simulated simple business.
Yeah, and they threw out this, frankly, ambitious projection based on it, making $4.7 billion a year with 1 million vending machines.
That's quite a projection from a simulation, but it points towards autonomous business operation potential.
For sure. And then in research, particularly biomedical research,
Yeah.
the ARC Institute, a top biomedical center, is apparently using the Grok 4 API already,
Great what?
automating research flows. Things like sniffing through millions of experiment logs to find patterns or helping pick the best hypothesis for CRISPR gene editing research.
That sounds genuinely useful for accelerating science.
Yeah, potentially very impactful. They also mentioned it being good at examining chest x-rays, weirdly enough.
Chest x-rays, okay. Complex visual patterns again, maybe?
Must be. And it's apparently popular in finance, too, leveraging that access to real-time info and tools.
Okay, so business, research, finance. What about creative areas? Entertainment.
Well, they showcase game development. A designer apparently created a first-person shooter game in just 4 hours using Grok 4.
4 hours? How?
Grok automated the asset sourcing, finding the 3D models, textures, sounds, presumably.
That's a massive time saver for indie developers or even larger studios.
Huge. And they painted a picture of the next step for gaming.
Which is?
Not just helping make games, but Grok actually playing them, interacting, even assessing if a game is genuinely fun.
Judging fun. That's subjective.
Highly. But imagine AI using professional engines like Unreal or Unity to generate not just assets, but whole game executables. They're predicting the first really good AI video game next year.
Ambitious again. And then video generation. That seems like the next frontier for all these models.
Absolutely. XAI has big plans there, training a video model using over 100,000 GB200s.
GB200s. Even more powerful chips than the H100s powering Colossus.
That's right. NVIDIA's next-gen Blackwell chips, they're aiming for spectacular video generation, a pixel-in, pixel-out future.
What does that look like in practice?
They envisioned an infinite scroll of content on X, maybe video, where you, the user, can intervene, jump in, create your own adventures.
Wow. Interactive AI-generated video streams.
Yeah, and the timeline. First half hour of watchable TV this year, first watchable AI movie next year.
Those timelines feel incredibly compressed, almost hard to believe.
They are extremely aggressive, yes.
Yeah.
But that seems to be the pace they're aiming for.
Okay, so looking ahead, what are the acknowledged weaknesses or challenges? Where do they need to improve?
They were pretty open about Grok's current biggest weakness being its multimodal understanding, image, video, audio. They called it partially blind.
Right. It's primarily text-focused still, even with some image input.
Exactly. But they expect a big improvement soon. Version 7 of their foundation model is finishing training in a few weeks, apparently.
And that will bring in...
Step function improvement in vision capabilities. The goal is making the model able to hear and see the world just like any of you.
Truly multimodal input and understanding. That would be a game changer.
Definitely. So the focus going forward is on models that are both fast and smart. And they even gave a product roadmap.
Oh, yeah.
AI coding model in August. A multimodal agent, presumably leveraging that improved vision audio in September. And that video generation model in October.
August, September, October. Wow, that's rapid fire.
It is. And connecting this to the really big picture, Musk went into this almost philosophical vision.
Yeah.
Talking about being at the beginning of an immense intelligence explosion, an intelligence big bang.
An intelligence big bang.
Potentially leading to economies thousands of times bigger. He even referenced the Kardashev scale, the theoretical measure of civilizational energy use.
So, truly transformative civilization-level change is the vision here.
That's the ultimate goal, it seems.
Yeah.
Which naturally brings up safety.
Crucially important, yeah. What was said there?
Emphasis on making AI maximally truth-seeking. and instilling the right values in this super genius child, as he put it.
Finding the right values for a superintelligence,
Okay.
that's the multi-trillion-dollar question, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the ultimate test, they argue, isn't exams anymore. It's reality itself.
Meaning?
Can the AI invent things, better car designs, new medicines that actually work in the physical world? That's where the RO loop closes. Can it interact with and improve reality?
That makes sense. The real proof is in the pudding, not just the test score.
Exactly. And one final interesting challenge they brought up,
What's that?
a potential data bottleneck, specifically for reinforcement learning.
How so?
The models are getting so smart, they're acing even their ridiculously hard, human-written test questions designed to train them via RL.
So we can't even write problems hard enough to effectively train them anymore.
That seems to be the emerging issue. It shows the incredible pace, but also means we might need new ways to challenge and guide these AIs as they surpass human benchmarks.
A fascinating problem to have in a way. It really underscores the speed of this. So wrapping up then, considering Grok 4's rapid advancement, that multi-agent study group thing, and this explicit ambition for AI to invent new tech, discover new physics soon, how might our actual definition of innovation change?
When machines become the main drivers of discovery.
Yeah. And what new questions pop up for society when problems we currently consider PhD level just become trivial for an AI? And that ultimate test shifts from passing exams to actually changing reality.
It really forces us to think about what intelligence is, what discovery is, and what our role becomes alongside these increasingly capable machines. Lots to ponder there.